CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Class S semifinal. A little bit of a preview, and I've got on a Career Academy player with me, part of the NVL, David Rivera Jr., who just committed to Central. My guy, I appreciate you coming on, man. This will be fun.
Course, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thinking about kind of this Career Academy team, the school is still in terms of the freshness of being open. I mean, you guys opened up 16, 17, still fresh as far as the varsity season. What, 7 years in? You guys are in a semi, taking away the COVID year, of course, because that was a wonky year, so I don't count that. But for you guys to be where you were at when you first opened, I know you weren't there at that time, but to be in a semifinal after making the play, I told you on the phone, making the playoffs last year, then making it again back-to-back years, winning a playoff game, beating a number one seed, doing what you did. I mean, you guys are just chopping down history, it seems like every single year. What do you think?
I feel amazing. I really think it has to do with the culture that we've built over the last few years. You
Hmm.
know, the passing of the baton with Coach Flame and Coach Russo. Coach Russo has really played a really big role in this. He's every single day he's been saying it. We're gonna win a state championship,
Hmm.
and that's looking to the future. So he really puts that belief in all of us that we can really do it, and it's been pretty evident. He's told us we're gonna win this game. We worked for this game. We watched the film and we practiced for this game, and our technique is gonna show through.
One thing that really jumped out to me, and I saw you guys against Woolkit. I know Woolkit had a tough year, but the one thing that really jumped out to me for career, and this is even when Flam was the coach too, you guys got size. Like you got some big boys. Obviously, you're one of them. Like you guys are, hard at, a handful, right? But I noticed too, especially over the last couple years, the skill guys have started to become a lot very flashy. Myers is obviously excellent on the outside. Ambersley from the backfield is twitchy and he like I don't want to compare him to Genty, but he does come some of that stuff with the cuts and the patience and being able to get through the gaps. So when you're seeing that dude, I mean with all the toys in the toolbox, that's got to make you feel pretty good that you're on this team. You're not going
Yeah,
against
it definitely does. It definitely does. I just because I've always wanted to come to Korea since I was younger because my older cousin came. So
them.
and yeah, he's been on me ever since freshman year. He's like, yo, I'm gonna be at your games.
Okay. Hmm.
And I'm gonna be watching you. And if you do something wrong, I'm
Hmm.
gonna be there. So like seeing him, he was like a trailblazer on his team. And it's just cool to see like how we have, it's me, Deshaun on the line as well. It's cool to
Hmm.
see my brothers on the D line, Dylan. We all came up together, and
Hmm.
it's it's really just amazing to see all the work we put in together,
Hmm.
and it's coming to fruition.
Now, who is your cousin?
Jalen Gopi,
Really? Your
sir.
Gobi's cousin?
Yes, sir.
That kid could play. That
Yeah.
kid was built like a man. He had muscles when he was like a sophomore. Like literally like looking like a cop, like seriously. So I did the game against Torrington some
Mm,
years ago, and he had one of the most exciting games that I've ever like he did everything. Because again, at the time, because the program was still new and again everything was trying to be put into place, it
mm.
was Gopi, Gopi. I mean, I'm sure you know this. Gopi,
Yeah.
Gopi, Gopi, Gopi. Gopi would run. Gopi would probably throw if he had to. He was the wild. He did everything. And the kid still had, like, the game plan was to go after Gopi, and he still had 300, four tutties a game. It was ridiculous, dude.
Yes, sir. It definitely was. And I remember being young, seeing that, and it was just
Mhm.
like an inspiration for me. So he's definitely played a big role in me doing what I'm doing right now.
So, looking at obviously the season that you've had, and more so just the team, looking at the regular season really quick, you lose your quarterback. We were discussing, I think it was a week 5 against Wolcott. So, not to disparage from the kid who's playing quarterback now, but in terms of the QB1, you have not had a QB1 since that injury. But you have found ways with obviously your quarterback making some plays, the skill guys doing their thing, the defense maybe picking up a little bit of the slack while the offense was getting rolling a little bit. Do you feel like that this team has kind of hit its stride at the right time, even with the loss of Blaze? What do you think?
I think, everything happens for a reason. So
Hmm.
obviously, it's really unfortunate that Ethan, he's got hurt, and I would love to be playing with him. But it's cool to see how we recover from that, how we bounce back, we respond to adversity.
Hmm.
So, you know, it's the next man up. Dylan, thank God we have him. He has an arm on him. So even though he hasn't trained to be a quarterback, he's done what he had to do, and he's led the offense. And it's crazy. I've been telling him since freshman year he should be a quarterback, but that's besides the point. Um, yeah, it's just crazy to see. He's stepping up. The whole offense is stepping up,
Hmm.
especially in you can see in that second half and against Capital Prep. You can definitely see it.
And speaking of Capital Prep, that was the one seed at the time. You guys were facing them. You guys were down pretty decent in the first half. And then what like turned? What switch just happened in that second half? What turned?
We went so like in the first half, it was a lot of oh this team. When I came into the game,
Yeah.
I was trying to motivate my guys. I'm like, we work for this day in and day out. We're not gonna let this team come and
Hmm.
just stomp on us. We're gonna come out here and we're gonna put up a fight.
Hmm.
So, they're like, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, that's what the captain's supposed to say.
Hmm.
Going into the half, you know, they had a few breakout plays.
Hmm.
First play of the game they scored, but it's nothing special. It's everything that they scored on is what we've given to them.
Hmm.
So, it's nothing that we can't handle. So I kept telling my guys, we're good, we're good, we're good, but we need to start picking it up. So
Hmm.
at halftime, we go and we have a talk, and we get the hollered at by coach or whatever, who's not doing the job or whatever.
Hmm.
But the whole thing was, you see, they're not blowing us out. We're not down 70 points. We can do this as
Hmm.
long as we lock in on our defense and we start scoring on offense. We got to pick up our guys.
Hmm.
And I'll be one to say I'm on the O line as well.
Hmm.
Um, it I was missing blocks. I'm gonna be completely transparent. I was missing blocks. You
Yeah.
know, it was not until we started playing as a team, like
Hmm.
together, like
Hmm.
that O line, like we started communicating. In practice, we talk about, yo, I got Mike. He's picking up the end. Like we're actually actively conversing on the line, and
Hmm.
that's definitely what came into play. Once we
Hmm.
started picking up those blocks, it was the linebackers. Once we started picking up the linebackers,
Hmm.
Makeem, Demani, all of them, they were out. So we opened up those holes and they filled them.
At what point did you guys start to realize that your performance in the second half, where in a lot of ways it's like I know in soccer terms, when you have a 2-0 goal lead, a lot of times that's the most dangerous thing in soccer
Mhm.
because you give up a goal, now the momentum is now shifted pretty quick. It's crazy how that works, especially being up by 2 goals. In
Yes.
football, it's weird because, well, weird and not weird. But when you have a big lead, it's like, okay, well, now you start to take your foot off the gas a little. You start becoming more cute with certain things, just
Mhm.
trying to, you're not staying to, no pun intended, but staying on their throat and really finishing them, right? And I
Yeah.
don't know what Capital Prep did. I wasn't there for the game, so I have no idea. All I know is what you guys did in the second half. But it
Mhm.
seemed like the adjustments that you guys made, they A, did not make them, but also two, the pressure of like, oh geez, we had a big lead. Oh geez, it's starting to slip. Oh geez,
Mhm.
now we're behind. Now they're pressing, and you guys won the game.
Yes, sir. So yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's that teamwork. That's what snapped. That's what snapped at halftime. Before, we were kind of bickering with each other, or who
Mhm.
didn't pick up who. But once we started playing together, everything started to roll out. And yeah, so like they try to talk junk and stuff under their breath and stuff, but
Mhm.
we didn't buy into none of that. We just played as a team, and you know, we know what the blood, sweat, and tears we put into this. So we're not
Mhm.
just gonna let that flush down the toilet just because this team supposedly had they're supposed to beat us
Mhm.
just because everybody's saying so.
Take me into what you guys have coming up. Obviously, Bloomfield being, a powerhouse amongst Class S. It's typically them and Ansonia. Now, that could end up being the case. I think you and Woodland will have a different idea of that. You guys would love to be able to see each other match up, right? I know that would be an all NVL final. That'd be really cool. Um, what are your thoughts as far as going up against really the monster when you think about it? It's been Ansonia Bloomfield for so many years. How would you guys feel? I mean, okay, dumb question. Let me reverse that. What are your thoughts if you are able to take down one of the two-headed monsters in Class S? How would you feel about that?
I would feel, I always think about it as,
Mhm,
everybody thinks it's a big monster, but I just look at them as another team and I just kind of dissect each piece of the team.
mhm,
So, you know, everybody's scared. Oh, it's Ansonia, oh, it's Bloomfield. They're run heavy teams. So if you stop the run, they can't do anything.
mhm,
So, like I said, last year when we went against Ansonia, you know, we were stopping the run. We were stopping the run the first half. I don't think they scored until the second half. My mind is elsewhere. But I don't know. That's probably how I remember it. But I just
yeah,
remember stopping the run, stopping the run, stopping the run. And they're getting
mhm,
frustrated. So it wasn't until we started to, pull apart as a team and we were kind of getting lazy
mhm,
that they started to score. So I just take it as, it's just another team.
mhm,
And we've practiced for this. We played against run heavy teams. We played against Torrington. We played against um and at this point Capital Prep. We played against Ansonia. We see what they do.
mhm.
It's just a matter of execution. Everybody does their job and everything will go smoothly. So that D line has to hold up the line. Those linebackers have to come crashing downhill, filling those gaps,
Mhm.
and those DBs have to just make sure they're watching for any passes. So that's pretty much how I look at it.
Well, like you said, controlling your gaps, making sure the line of scrimmage is your guys and not losing that, especially on the outside, because you know running teams, they are shooting to get to the outside the number portion and try to get to that sideline. And, I think the biggest thing you guys against Bloomfield, who are big, obviously, and Sonia Woodland, that's going to be a battle in the trenches rather. Being able to have inside and outside contain on your guys and being able to not have them force you where to go, you want to force them where to go. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's pretty much yeah. That's how I look at it.
Mhm,
Our team plays based off the line. So if our O line, we're slacking, our running backs aren't gonna run the plays that they normally. They're not gonna make the plays that they normally make.
mhm,
Um, on the D line, on the other side of it, if that D line isn't getting penetration, if that D line isn't enforcing,
mhm,
then those linebackers aren't gonna want to come downhill. The whole team is gonna lose morale. So I take pride on
mhm.
when that front line is dominating.
My guy, appreciate you coming on, man. This was a lot of fun. Best of luck tomorrow, and hopefully, I will be seeing Career Academy the following week because we are doing the Class S final for the radio. Just depends on who the matchups are. Would be great to be able to see Career Academy if that's an opportunity.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Always, I wrap things up here in the CT Sports Talent Show. Next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. Enjoy, find them all. Enjoy the day, everybody, and be well.